In this video, Shawna sits down with Vicky, who's lost over 100 pounds and completely changed her life. Her inspirational story unfolds as she opens up about the journey, sharing tips, motivation, and inspiration. You don't want to miss this conversation. It's a must listen. But before we dive into Vicky's story, we have created a free Weight Watchers high protein recipe guide just for you. It's packed with our most loved, delicious, low point, high protein recipes to keep you satisfied and on track. You can grab your free guide in the description box below. Now let's get into Vicky's story.
Welcome to WW Success Stories. Today I have the honor of having a wonderful conversation with Vicky, and I get to hear her journey. Welcome, Vicky!
Hi, Shawna. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to talk to you and hear about your journey and everything good and positive that you want to share with us.
Thanks. Well, I started Weight Watchers in 2019 because I just got to the point really where I knew I needed to change my life. And I said, well, let me try Weight Watchers. So that's how I started with Weight Watchers.
And had you done any other diets before Weight Watchers, or was this your first time realizing that you needed to lose weight and you just tried?
And throughout high school and college, I was thin and I didn't really have a weight problem or anything. And then after I had children, I started just gaining weight, and just through the years just kept gaining and gaining and gaining. And, finally I got to the point, after 19 years of gaining and all of that, I just was at a point where I really, to be honest, didn't like anything about myself. I didn't like my weight and the way I looked. I didn't like how I felt. I hated the clothes. I hated going shopping and finding clothes, and, nothing fit, and it was all huge. And, but then when I put it on, it wasn't huge because it, fit me, and it's just depressing. It wasn't cute. And I just didn't have a lot of energy. And I was just knew I needed to change my life. And I didn't want to keep just getting bigger and bigger and heavier, and I'm short. So I'm only, 5'2", and, a big frame, big, heavy, with a lot of weight extra on me. And it just was a bad situation. So that's what brought me to realize, I needed to change what I was doing. And, that's when I started.
Was there one particular moment that happened where you were this is it, I have to do it today? Or was it kind of an accumulation of everything that you were just saying about the journey, and then one day you just decided that you were going to do it? What made you make that day that you were I'm doing it now,
Yeah, well, actually, it was my New Year's resolution in 2019. So it was Christmas had just happened in 2018. And then, January 1st, 2019, I just said, I'm gonna lose weight this year. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try what I'm doing. And I just made that my New Year's resolution, even though I had, said, oh, I have to lose weight, many times before that. But I just pretty much forced myself and just said, I want to change now, and start the process. So I started just watching what I was eating. And then for a month, from January to February, I just was watching what I was eating, and I had lost 8 pounds. And then I came across Weight Watchers, and I was just you know what, I'm going to do this. So in February 2019 is when I officially joined Weight Watchers.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's and
Yeah.
You've lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah, I've lost over 100 pounds. And since, I've lost 100 pounds, over 100 pounds, earlier than 2025, what we're in now, but I've been maintaining the loss, and I'm not at my goal yet, but, that's the beauty of Weight Watchers. It's a lifestyle. So I'm not just fixated on I have to get to a certain weight. There's more I want to lose, but, it's taught me so much on healthy eating and being able to enjoy lots of food and not having a diet mentality. I could still go out, I could still have stuff at home, I could still enjoy all kinds of food, and it's not a diet, it's really a lifestyle in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. What are some of the things once you joined Weight Watchers that changed from what you were doing before that you found that were successful and helpful for you on your journey?
Well, actually, I didn't really know much about Weight Watchers. When I first joined Weight Watchers, I knew there was options of either digital program or going into in-person meetings. And I decided that I was gonna just do the digital because it was $20 a month. And I said, well, let me try it for $20 a month. I hope I can lose 20 pounds. Well, I had way more, lots more than that to lose. But I said, let me just see if I can even lose 20, what the heck. And so I chose digital, and that's where I started making all those changes because I didn't really know anything about, I just read what I read. Like no one was telling me, no one in my family, no friends, no one I knew personally was doing Weight Watchers. So I pretty much learned everything on my own digitally, from the app. And I would read, different things on the app and learn about recipes and all that. And then points. And what I did differently was actually really start planning what I was going to eat and make time and make actual time for myself to make good recipes instead of just eating a burger or, or putting a frozen pizza in the oven or something like that. I actually researched recipes hours worth of time. I would stay up late at night and look through the websites and find recipes and ingredient swap and learned so much about ingredients and that type of thing. And that's what I started doing differently is making time for myself to allow myself to have the time to research this type of stuff and find healthy foods and that type of thing.
That's amazing. I think because I've been doing it for so long, I forgot that people come in and don't know. And I think that that's actually a really great tip to just have to discover and lean into it. One of the things I was wondering, you said when you started, even though you knew you had more weight to lose, you've lost over 100 pounds, but you started with 20. Was there a reasoning behind that? Or did you just think that was easier than looking at the whole thing, or you weren't sure? Or?
I just said, well, if I can't lose 20 pounds, then I'm just going to stop doing this, So I just figured, let me just try to see if I can lose 20. If 20 comes off, then I know this works.
Right.
If it's not going to come off, then I'm not even going to bother, doing it. So continue doing it. And I knew I, wanted to lose weight and I had to lose weight, but I just didn't know what would work. So I tried that and I just put a 20 in my head because I don't know, it was just a round number or whatever.
Right.
And it worked. And then I just kept losing and sticking with it and, following. And it works because, it allows you to have all kinds of food. And I'm not saying that it's a bad choice, but some other ways of losing weight, are, saying that you can't have carrots. And I said, well, or apples, I did not get to be over 100 pounds overweight because I had too many carrots and too many apples.
Right.
So if there's a program that says, no, you can't have carrots and you can't have apples and that's just going to not lose weight. I said, well, Weight Watchers isn't like that. I know I didn't get to be too heavy because I had too many vegetables. So, that's what
No, I think though too, when we're talking about it's a lifestyle versus a diet and there really isn't anything off limits, I think that's one of the biggest things I love about it. So whatever your lifestyle is that you want to have, you can figure out a way to put that in and still lose weight, which is incredible. And I love that too. Someone telling me I can't have a glass of wine or my cheese and baguette, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah. And I still have baked goods and all that because I make it myself. And there's a million recipes out there.
Yeah.
I mean, even from your website, there's so many great recipes that you could still have all those baked goods. That's my weakness, is pies and cakes and cookies and stuff like that. I love that. And I love on Weight Watchers, you could still have it. I learned that you could still have an Oreo if you want, but if I make my own cookie, I can have like triple the amount of cookies for the like same points.
Right.
So like I can have 3 cookies if I baked them myself with the, proper ingredients where they still taste delicious, or I can just take an easy way and just have only 1 Oreo if I only had those points left, So I love making my own recipes. It's fun, and I can eat way more food that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think of that too when I'm creating the recipes. And yeah, I want to have more of something delicious, definitely. And making it healthy. And do you have a favorite healthy foodie girl recipe that you love?
Yes, I do. Well, there's a lot of good ones, but one that actually shocked me that I would like, and I was like, I'm going to try it because I trust Shawna and Ella, but is like the banana bread with the cottage cheese.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I hate cottage cheese. And I was like, what? There's cottage cheese in this? No. And I actually bought it specifically for that recipe, and I was like, I'm going to try it. And it's really good.
Yeah.
It's so moist.
Yeah.
And you don't taste the cottage cheese.
I know. And you're
I love that recipe.
You're probably looking at it thinking, why are they putting cottage cheese in there?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is going to be good. I told my friend, when I first made it, a while back, I was like, this recipe I found has cottage cheese. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I hate cottage cheese, but I'm going to try it anyway. And it was great. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you took the chance on the cottage cheese.
I took a chance on you.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you did. And especially because you can't taste it in that banana bread. And so I think that's so great, because not liking something and then still thinking like, okay, I don't know what she's thinking, but I'm going to try it with the cottage cheese in there. And then
and I even forced myself when I opened the container and I saw it, because I don't know why, but I don't like the look of cottage cheese or the texture or whatever. And I'm just like, I opened the package and I'm like, oh. I'm forcing myself to use it, and it's good. It's so delicious. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm so happy you loved it. I mean, I think I like cottage cheese, but I can imagine if we've made you a believer.
That's the only time I would eat it is in a recipe like that, though. I'm not gonna just scoop it and put it on my plate. No.
Yeah. No,
but it's in the recipe. That is a really good one, and I want to try your the chocolate mousse one. I haven't tried that yet.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's on my list to try.
Well, one thing I will say about cottage cheese, especially for people that don't like cottage cheese, have you tried whipping it?
No.
Oh, okay. I got to tell you, if you have like a stick blender or even in a regular, the what? Yeah. Okay. You blend it.
Okay.
And it's whipped. And once it's whipped, this is why you're going to love it. It doesn't, first of all, it doesn't have the cottage cheese consistency. Okay, good. But what happens is when you whip it, you can use it instead of Greek yogurt replacement as a mayonnaise. Use it as, so like we did a cottage cheese chicken salad and an egg salad where we used it in the replacement of the mayonnaise instead of the Greek yogurt. I do like Greek yogurt as a replacement.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that's a good tip.
Yeah. And if you just whip it and you can get the container, whip it in the container and leave it in the refrigerator. And then that way when you need it for whatever, it's already whipped. So maybe that'll help with the consistency factor of it. But it's a really, really awesome mayonnaise replacement, especially.
Because I don't like mayonnaise either.
Yeah. I don't like.
I don't eat mayonnaise. So that's a good tip. And I will replace mayonnaise with like you said, yogurt like that. But I didn't even know I could replace it with whipped cheese.
Yeah. I like using both. I really do. Okay. Like Greek yogurt works really good as well. But sometimes there's that tartness. So
Yes.
So what's incredible when you whip the cottage cheese is that there's no tartness.
Yeah. And if you get the fat free, 0 points.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then you get a creamy, delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Then in the banana bread one, I just left it like plain,
Oh yeah.
Right, like you showed in your video.
Yeah.
But I got the fat free, so it's 0 points, so it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's what I like about that one. It's easy. You just toss it in.
I know.
Okay. You're gonna have to let me know though. If you whip the cottage cheese and you try it, you're gonna have to let me know how it goes. You may be like a changed woman on the cottage cheese.
I might. Well, maybe not like as a normal way, but whipped. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe you can convert me.
I know, right? I love it. Converting one person at a time.
Yeah.
So you started and you were tracking and you were losing weight, and did you start exercising or did you change anything there?
Actually, to be honest with you, I hate exercising. So like when I did start exercising at one point, but I love how exercise feels. I love the results of exercise. I like how I feel after exercising, and I love that it gives me energy. But the actual act of exercising, I don't like. Like as far as like going in a gym, I love walking and all that. But like I would force myself to go to the gym and stuff because I wanted, or like do exercise. Like I have home workouts I do and stuff like that. But I didn't even start exercising until I had lost about like 80 to 90 pounds. So like when I reached about 80-ish pounds or so is when I started like exercising to tone. I like to tone my body and like help with like skin and like just like being fit and muscles and that kind of thing, which I'm glad I did. But it just proved to me that losing weight, in my opinion, is not about over exercising. It's all about what you eat. Because I had lost 80 pounds before I even started exercising on changing my food. And I noticed that like, even when I exercise, it doesn't necessarily help me lose weight. It helps me tone my body, but it doesn't like, you could go to the gym like 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week and eat crappy. And you're not going to lose weight because it's what you put in your body that really helps you lose weight. But that exercise part definitely helps with like the toning and energy and keeping your body fit, which I agree with. I think you should. I just, think that for me, and like what worked for me was really changing my food and then incorporating exercise as well.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's good to hear though that you can lose weight without exercising, so that people know that they can achieve that and they don't have to. But obviously exercise is helpful. Sometimes I think that the exercise is even like, sometimes I think exercise helps me mentally, sometimes even better than the other. So sometimes I'm like, I got to feel better, Yeah,
I think exercise is definitely good. I just don't think that it should be the only thing. Like if you're exercising only and you're not like really tracking or paying attention to what you're putting in your body, then exercise is not going to help you get the scale to show a different number. Definitely, like it's good for keeping your body fit and your organs and your body and like tone, and like even if you've lost a lot of weight, like for skin and that kind of thing. But I don't think it's the only thing that should be done to lose weight. It's definitely like food is like a big factor, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's super important to fuel your body in a good way. Eventually, as we get older, I think you feel it even more. So since you've been on Weight Watchers, have you found any little tips or tricks that you find useful with your weight loss journey?
Yes, I have. I still like, even though I've been doing Weight Watchers for a while and I've lost all this weight, like I feel like I know the program pretty well. There's always little changes here and there, but like I still to this day, like will take my app, my Weight Watchers app, and when I go to the grocery store, if I find like different foods I haven't tried yet, or even foods I have, like I'll scan the barcode to see the points and I'll play around with like the measurements, like, cause sometimes, or even the different brands, like one brand could just change the amount of points you're allowed for a certain item, so I'll like, the tips like is definitely don't be scared. Like give yourself enough time in the grocery store to really scan a lot of items, because you'll really start learning like all the different things you can have for lower points that will still satisfy you and, let you have even more food that way. So definitely checking that. And even at home, like weighing food, I thought was like a big tip. Like a lot of times people don't want to weigh because it's an extra step, but you gotta like actually like literally weigh or like measure. Like if you think you're going to grab a tablespoon of peanut butter, like if you take a regular soup spoon and you think that's a tablespoon, it's not, so like literally measuring with the right measurements is a huge tip. Like 1 tablespoon, true tablespoon is so much different than just grabbing it with a spoon, regular spoon, or the same with measuring. Like I noticed like if I'm making a dessert or something and I want to put like caramel sauce on it, I can get 9 grams or I'm sorry, I can get like 5 grams of the caramel sauce that I use for 0 points versus like, maybe a teaspoon, like, and it ends up being more. So I think like measuring and weighing stuff is a tip. Like you should really make time to just don't guess what you're putting in, like actually measure and weigh it.
That's a really great tip. Definitely. Do you track all the time, or how do you feel about the tracking?
Yeah, I definitely feel that tracking is the key. Like you have to track, like it just helps you see and stay on target for your day with tracking. Like even if you think you're like over the points, you should really track, because then you can go back on it and see, what you ate. And once it's in there, it's kind of like in your saved items too. So it's easier to keep tracking that same item. Some items that don't scan when you do the barcode, you manually put in, and then I end up saving it to my saved ones, and it's there for future. But I do track like pretty much everything. The only thing I really don't track is water. I mean, I know there's a spot for it, but like I pretty much track everything.
And if you had an event you were going to, or going out to dinner, how would you navigate that with the tracking? Do you pre-track? Do you save the points? Do you have a strategy there?
Actually, I do both. Sometimes I pre-track. Sometimes I'll just like use extra points. Sometimes I'm just like, forget my points. I'm just going to eat what I want, and then I'll track it when I get home, when I eat at that place. Like I like, if it's a chain restaurant, they're all like on the app, so it's easy to track that. But if it's not, then I'll do my best to estimate like what I ate, like the amount. Or like even sometimes if I go to a restaurant with my family, I'll just, like if I go out to breakfast at our local diner, that's not going to be a place on Connect, on the app to track anything. So I will ask for certain ways of my food. Like if I order eggs, I'll just say, can I get 2 eggs, but can you cook them in cooking spray and not oil? And they're like, okay. So I've saved like it's 0 points for my eggs because I asked them to use cooking spray, or I've gone to restaurants with friends or like family or whatever and brought my own ingredients too sometimes. Like I'll bring my own like favorite salad dressing that I know is low points, and I'll like ask for a salad dry, and then I'll put my own dressing that I snuck in with my purse. So I do that sometimes, or sometimes I'll just use their items and I'll track, the best I can from there.
Yeah, those are really, really good tips though. Mm-hmm. I think what I like to split things. Like
Okay.
Ella and I love to like share like something. And before Ella, it was like one of the tips they gave me at the meetings forever ago was when you order something, ask for a to-go box at the beginning and then put half in the to-go box. And I was like, okay. But a lot of times I like to just share with her. Yeah. And I need to slow down on my eating, because I feel like once I do slow down, I realize, I am full,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But that's definitely something that I know that I need to work on.
Yeah, so, I'm a fast eater too, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think by slowing down, it's like you realize like, I'm full, versus 5 minutes you're like, wait, I'm still hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so how has this journey thus far like changed how you're feeling and the positive things that have come out of losing all this weight?
Sure. I feel like I feel a lot more energized and I feel more positive and I'm just like not embarrassed as much. Like I would hate the way like I looked, like I said, and I just felt like I never like felt good. And I just was really, really self-conscious, So it's definitely changed in a positive way. Like I love going shopping and like finding new clothes and like just feeling good and like sharing tips or like positivity to, and it's nice when someone says, "Oh, well, you inspire me," you've done it, so I think I can too. And it makes me feel really good that because I used to be that person that was just starting or felt like they're never going to get to lose anything. And by watching strangers on Connect is where I really like found my motivation. Like I went on Connect when I first joined and I didn't know a single soul, like, doing any of the program. And I would go on and I would see somebody that a complete stranger, I had no idea who they were, lost like 50 pounds or 25 pounds or 75 pounds. And I felt like I was like had tears of joy for a complete stranger that I didn't even know, because I'm like, oh my God, this person, how is it possible? Like a real person, like not an actor on TV, lost all this weight. And I would just be motivated and inspired by like a complete stranger. And like I think that's what changed, in my life too, because sometimes now if I post something on Connect and someone says that, I've inspired them, I'm like, wow, I really did. Like that's incredible. Like I feel honored, and because I know what it's like because I was there too, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think when you're starting out, you can be overwhelmed and you can think like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, exactly. And I just like take literally one day at a time. Like that's the beauty of Weight Watchers. Like you could choose all different ways of doing the program. Like, there could be, like you said, pre-tracking or use your weeklies, or, there's going to be times you ran out of weeklies, but if you are consistently being consistent,
Yeah.
those bumps, those blips, like, a wedding you went to, a vacation, or, a fun weekend, it's not going to overpower all your progress you made. So, if you change your lifestyle and then go back to, I'm going to eat pizza every single night and, burgers with cheese and, not track anything. And then, yeah, it's going to go the other way and you're going to gain everything back. But if you really are consistent, like, I think that you can, do really well on the program.
I think that's a really good tip, because I think sometimes you can get in that mindset of all or nothing. So when
Right.
you're at that wedding or you're at that party or you're out to dinner, suddenly that can spiral you into,
Yeah.
days of not tracking, or,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
how do you manage that? Do you just know that like specifically it's just that day and then you're right back on it the next day? Do you ever have a time where I like to call it falling off the wagon for a little while before you get back on?
Yeah, like I've been on vacation and like at Disney, and I'm like, okay, I had everything horrible for like a few days, but I didn't come back home, and or even there, like even when I'm on vacation, instead of like having a margarita, if I sat down and had like a drink or something or a night out, I I know I can have, you know, I love margaritas, but they're like, how many could you have for like how many points? They're full of ingredients that have like so many points. So if I have one or if I don't have one, I'll choose instead instead of that something like Michelob Ultra. That's 3 points. So like I'll know my limit. Like I'll know like I'm gonna have a margarita and then the rest, something like a Michelob Ultra, or I can set it, or if I'm on vacation, I've just had like all this crap food, and when I sit down for a drink, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna have something that's lower points instead of having a high point drink. Like all those fancy drinks when you go to a restaurant or a bar, they're full of sugar and full of alcohol. That like, so instead of, I'll just pair it, like I ate kind of crappy, but I'm going to have something better for a drink, So
Yeah, that's really smart though. That's really
yeah.
smart. And then you feel like when you get home, you're able to get right back on it.
Oh yeah, I feel like I am, and like I don't just say, well, I already ate crappy, so I'm just gonna eat like this entire pie right now. No, I'm like, well, I ate some crappy stuff, and I'm okay. That's done. Like, now I'm back to my normal food again. So I feel like I'm lucky in that way where I can control that. So
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you tell yourself if you could tell your older self you now? What would you tell your older self?
I would say don't give up, don't quit, and that you can achieve like good things that make you feel good, because there, like, before I joined Weight Watchers, I was just like at a point where I was just, thought like it was horrible. Like I hated, like I said, I hated everything. And I just was like not feeling good about myself, and, just had thoughts that, I wasn't going to ever get better and change my life and all that. And if she, like my older self, she didn't know what I was gonna come. Like, she shocked her. She shocked the blank out of her.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just say, like, stay with it, and keep thinking positive, because change is possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. That's so great. And
Yeah.
if you were to meet someone who it was their first day on Weight Watchers, or they're new to Weight Watchers like you were, not knowing anything about the program, what advice would you give them?
Stay within your points and track everything. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Because it works. Like, it does. And then eventually what happens little by little is, it's not just as simple as stay within your points. It's, you start learning how to get the most for your points. So yeah, you can sit and have like a tiny piece of lasagna for whatever points it is, or you can have this huge dish that you got the recipe off of Healthy Foodie Girl, with chicken and sauce and all this stuff for like a couple points, instead of like a tiny portion for a massive number of points. So I would say, like, stay within points, but start learning. And like, if you think you don't have time, force yourself to have time to look for recipes, find ingredient swap, and you're going to start eating stuff that you would never think is possible in Weight Watchers. And like lose weight from it, like ice cream, and making cookies, and having pasta dishes, and spaghetti, but using spaghetti squash, like all kinds of things, like Alfredo, your chicken Alfredo, the spaghetti squash recipe. Like,
Oh, I like that one.
you wouldn't think, like, you wouldn't think that that's going to help you lose weight, but you're staying within points, and look at your portion size.
Yeah.
So my tip would definitely be stay within points, track everything, but learn how to like maximize your points on, like, maximize the amount of food you're eating on low points.
Yeah, I think that's a really great tips for that, definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share that we haven't covered, that I missed, or anything that comes to mind that flew in your head right now?
Just buy yourself stuff, like, and take pictures along your whole process, because like you might start off thinking, oh, well, I don't, necessarily like the way I look. I don't want pet photos of me. I can't stand pictures. But you're going to see the progress that you've made, and it's going to be nice to see how far along you've come, whether you need to lose 25 pounds or you need to lose 200 pounds, whatever it is. Take pictures along the entire process, because you're going to see your progress along the way, and it's really going to motivate you, especially if you're having like a rough moment, or you think the scale went up and you're like, what the heck? I ate everything right. How did the scale go up? And then you can look back, 6 months ago, what your picture looks like compared to now. And you'd be surprised in 6 months how much your body can change.
Yeah.
I see pictures along the whole process. Yeah.
I think that that's a really great tip. I love seeing the face-to-faces and the befores and the afters. I love that so much. I find it so motivating. And I think that that's a really good tip so that people can, because I think too, when you're on your journey, you aren't looking, I mean, I'm not looking at myself that hard every day, And I think that when you have that image, then you can really remember and celebrate your success as well.
Yes. And then speaking of celebrate, just buy yourself stuff you like. And some people say oh, well, I don't want to go shopping yet because I'm not at my goal. But it doesn't matter. Buy yourself something at the weight you are now, even if it's 5 pounds you lost and you go to the store and you're oh, this is a cute shirt. Okay, we'll buy it. There's no harm in it. So what if it's too big one day? That's a great thing.
Yeah.
So, and then you could help out someone else by, giving away your clothes if you had to, but or buy a bracelet or buy, something that makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. I think that's a really good tip, because I think that ultimately when you're starting, you're not feeling super great about yourself. And so if you can find an outfit that makes you feel good, I always think, how does it make you feel?
Yes.
And I think that, I mean, I wouldn't worry so much as long as, you can afford it. I think, get a few things, or you always can go thrifting if that's something, if you don't want to spend a lot of money because it's a transition or something. But I definitely do feel when I dress up, I feel so much better anytime. Anytime I feel better when I take the effort to make myself look good versus wearing my little uniform.
Yeah, definitely. And also you don't have to spend a lot of money to have cute things. I even, a lot of my clothes is from Costco or Walmart and stuff. And people compliment me and they're where'd you get that? I'm this Walmart is $5. And they're what? $5 for that? I'm yep. So you can get cute things and make yourself feel good at, it doesn't have to be expensive stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that really does help. The positive, it's all about making it feel better and more positive. Yes. And the more things that you can do along that way, I think really does help the journey.
Yes. And your attitude, your mind, the way you set your mind to it is definitely a big motivator too. And it helps, I think, stay on the journey, to me, it's going to be a lifelong journey. If I was at the point where I was oh, well, I'm not at my goal. Am I ever going to reach it? I don't know. That's not going to make me want to stay.
Yeah.
So I think just being positive, and knowing that you can do it and that it's going to come eventually, to the point where you're at a number or, that you set your lifestyle to be that. It just helps you, on the program.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is definitely a journey. And I think that the other thing to remember is nothing ever stays the same.
Right.
So even though you're in it in that moment, feeling however you're feeling, you're going to feel different tomorrow, the next day. And I think it's just keeping going. I like to make, when you were saying when you first started that you started with the 20 pounds, I love making little micro goals along the way, because sometimes I feel when I look at the bigger picture, it gets overwhelming. So I think sizing it down a little bit and taking it week by week or even day by day is so much more obtainable in my brain than looking at the bigger picture of it. And because that just feels overwhelming sometimes when you're in that. We're oh, that seems like a lot of weight I need to lose and get back to goal, And so I think taking it in those little increments makes it feel less overwhelming. And then having little goals and along the way and working it in.
Definitely. And one of the tips that I have followed ever since day one on Weight Watchers to now is when I first joined, I learned from Weight Watchers. And it said, they said, the program said only weigh once a week. Oh. Pick a day, weigh that one day a week, only that certain day every single week, not to weigh yourself every single day or anything. And I was oh, I wonder why, but okay, I'll do that. And I can honestly say from starting to like right now, I've only weighed myself once a week, every week, same day of the week. And I think because your body fluctuates, like it could mess up your mind if you're thinking like, oh, well, I'm up 2 pounds today. Tomorrow I'm down 2, I'm only down, oh, I've only lost an ounce, or, that kind of thing. And so my tip is just follow what Weight Watchers knows. Like the experts know the program. That's why they created the program. So if that's what the program says, then follow it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's true. I only weigh myself once a week too. And I think that it's really helpful because it can fluctuate throughout the week. And then you don't want to be like beating yourself up if it's fluctuating in a not so great way. And I think the other thing too, I would say, is like when you do have a really good week and you're convinced you should have lost weight and you don't.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating.
I know, but I also want to say that like sometimes that does happen, and then you just have to wait and just keep going because the next week you'll lose the weight. Yeah. It's just sometimes it's not so linear, this whole journey.
And sometimes I notice that like if you ate bad, that's the thing. There's no bad, it's just tracking. But like if it's something that you thought you went over in your points, sometimes it doesn't show up for a couple weeks later. Like you're like the following week, you're like, oh, I made it. And then the week after that, you're like, oh, how did I gain? I was fine. But I think it took your body like some time to catch up to that.
Yeah. No, I've definitely had that happen too, where I've been over the points and like I've lost weight. And then I've also had it where I was like trying so hard that week and then I didn't lose any weight. And the worst is when you gain weight on the week that you're like trying so hard. And it's like, what? But I think that like, I just am bringing that up because I think that all of those things are real and all of those things happen.
Oh yeah, it's definitely reality. And like, sometimes you just love that metal box on your floor because you're just like amazed by the number, and other times you just want to throw that metal box out the window.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think also too is just looking at that as like a meter, because you don't want to go down a bad headspace. It just kind of be like, okay, this is where I'm at today. That's right. Okay. And then back to just, I agree with you on weighing yourself once a week, because I think if you do it more, it's not actually very accurate.
Well, sometimes it's not only about the number on the scale either, because you could be the exact same weight as you like what you think your weight is, but your body might not be toned. Yes. So that's the whole point of incorporating exercise in it as well, because you may be the same weight, but now you're building muscle and your body is better and you're, more fit. So it's not always only about a number either, because you may weigh more, but your body is in way better condition.
I would agree.
Your muscle, and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's not only about the number. It's just how you feel and eating, in general.
I think it's always, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely not only about the number.
Yeah, no, it is. It is only a number. I just think that society, sometimes we've like been conditioned, unfortunately, women get a hard time, but I definitely think those are such amazing tips and your story.
One more quick tip.
Yeah.
I think you should take advantage, like a Weight Watchers member should take advantage of Connect, because that's what, like I said earlier, that motivated me, is seeing like real people actually able to accomplish, getting their body better, whether it's losing weight or being fit or watching someone exercise or any of that. Like, take advantage of Connect, because not only can you see side by sides of people, which motivate you, but also like people post food ideas or recipes or food swaps. And like, I learned by looking on Connect and looking online and stuff, like, for example, just swapping unsweetened applesauce for oil makes a huge difference in baking recipes. So that's just one little example, but take advantage of Connect, because you actually really, can get motivated. And I've met like really great people on Connect too. So that I'm friends with, and I love that. I love it.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that so much. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to start this series, because I wanted to share people's stories and motivate and just be able to help people. And so I think it's so great. I agree with you. There's so many everyone I've spoke with has been so great, and everyone on there is so great, and
Amazing stories. Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing people. And like these people are real. Like everyone's real on there. There's no actors,
Yes, yes.
So
I mean, yes, and nobody's selling anything. It's not like a fool's gold that, do this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all like real deal. Like people, people living life and different, and you can relate to someone on there somehow.
I feel like I can relate to everybody on there.
Yeah.
No matter what, the
Yeah.
journey, I feel like we all have the same struggles. And
Yes.
some
Yeah.
some a little different, but overall I feel like we all get each other, and that's the cool thing about Connect too, definitely.
Yeah. And it helps that you're not alone and in what you're
Yes.
going through. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I mean, I've been inspired by Connect, and I've been inspired by doing these conversations. It's like completely motivating me, and
Definitely.
bringing back what I missed about those in-person meetings is just being able to have those real conversations with real people that are really doing something. And so where can people connect with you on Connect? What is your handle?
It is lose.weight.2019.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll also put that in the description box below, so people,
Sure.
if they didn't write that down, they can get it.
Okay.
And it was so nice of you to take the time to talk to me. I appreciate it so much. And I know that you've inspired so many people, and I can't wait for them to see the video. And so thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me and asking me. I'm honored that you asked, to have me here. And if, one person is able to, stay motivated and just keep working at it because of it, and then I'm thrilled for that. Hopefully it helps somebody, at least one person. So I appreciate you, and I love all your recipes and
thank you.
everything that you post on Connect, and also your website and your YouTube. It's great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I think that's what I love too, is the authenticity of people. We're all just trying to help and
Yes.
genuinely just trying to support one another.
Mhm.
We definitely are better together.
Yes,
Definitely.
better together for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of WW Success Stories, and I hope it inspires you on your journey. And don't forget to grab our high protein recipe guide in the description box below. I know you're going to love it. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single WW success story or our amazing, healthy, WW-friendly recipes.